And first up, updates coming in from the India-China disengagement agreement. Big news. The disengagement of troops has been completed at the two friction points, that's Demchok and Depsang Plains. This is in eastern Ladakh, and this is confirmed by top Indian Army officials. And this particular disengagement completion marks a crucial step towards following an agreement between the two nations. While verification is still underway, both Indian and Chinese ground commanders are expected to meet at the local level to finalize the modalities for resumed patrolling in the region. Army sources confirm that patrolling will begin shortly at both Demchok and Depsang, with specific protocols to be decided by the ground commanders. In a positive gesture, Indian and Chinese troops are set to exchange sweets tomorrow on the occasion, the auspicious occasion, mind you, of Diwali at the line of actual control, symbolizing the progress that has been made in easing tensions along the border, from disengagement to now engaging with sweets. But earlier, China announced that its troops and Indian forces are disengaging in eastern Ladakh in an orderly manner. This is how the Chinese Foreign Ministry reacted. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Lin Jian stated that both militaries are implementing resolution regarding disengagement along the LAC. And of course, the relationship between the two nations had deteriorated sharply following a violent clash in Galwan Valley back in June 2020, marking a significant military conflict. What's more is that during a bilateral meeting just a couple of days ago, on the 23rd of October at the BRICS Summit in Kazan in Russia, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping, they endorsed the agreement on patrolling and the disengagement along the LAC. News9's Aditya Raj Kaul, he weighs in on the latest development that is coming out of this disengagement. It is now complete. Diwali sweets will be exchanged near the LAC tomorrow. Listen in to what Aditya has to say.
The de-escalation between armies of India and China has finally been achieved at two friction points, Demchok and Depsang. This is after hectic negotiations between diplomats of both countries and also local commander level meetings that have taken place continuously in the last 4 years. Ever since the Galwan incident in 2020, there were several friction areas that were between both these countries. There was no patrolling happening in the areas around line of actual control, and of course there was a diplomatic standoff between India and China. But now that disengagement has been finally completed on ground, that's what top army officials in India are confirming to News9. We'll also have joint patrolling. In fact, as of now, the study of the joint patrolling areas is taking place, and the joint patrolling will begin shortly. Also, we might see de-escalation in other areas. There are hectic negotiations still underway. Interestingly, we'll also have exchange of sweets taking place on Diwali between Indian Army and the Chinese PLA at the line of actual control in eastern Ladakh and other areas of the line of actual control as well. This is a very significant development at a time when, of course, in the new international order, there are several wars taking place, and all eyes were also on China and the Indo-Pacific and what India and China's diplomatic engagement would be like. Special representatives of both India and China will be meeting soon as well. This after the Kazan meeting between Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and, of course, the Chinese President Xi Jinping. Ajit Doval and his counterpart from China, the Special Representative Wang Yi, will be meeting on discussing the further course of action after this historic disengagement that has been achieved in two friction point areas. And the local commander meetings at the Indian Army and the Chinese PLA level will also resume very shortly.